Hey guys, I'm going to make some vegan baked tofu taquito things, I think, because I have tofu and I have oil-free corn tortillas in my fridge. So I'm gonna just kind of throw stuff together and see if it works, kind of my usual MO. And I'm filming on my iPad, so hopefully this will come out okay, because I have to kind of like position it differently because my phone is running out of room rather quickly. So we'll see how it goes. Here we go. Alright guys, so I'm going to use some Trader Joe's organic sprouted tofu. I've got this one package and then another half a package. And then, where did I put it? There it is. Just kidding. I'm going to chop up this onion. That's pretty much all I have to put inside. So I'm just going to try to season it up really well. Right now I have my tofu pressing. The other half a block I had as leftover, so that's already been pressed. And then the other one I have in this towel, and then I have a big jar of rice sitting on top of it to get as much moisture out of it as possible, because I really don't want a soggy taquito. So I'm going to get all that, excuse me, I'm going to get all that chopped up, and then we're going to saute it up with lots of seasoning. Sorry, I was just munching on this. Some of the Follow Your Heart, the provolone style dairy-free cheese. Stuff's really good. It tastes just like regular cheese. It's awesome if you guys haven't tried it yet. So you don't gotta melt it or do anything weird to it. The only downside is it says do not freeze. So if it goes like on a good sale, you can't just like stock up and stick it in your freezer, unfortunately. All right, let's get to prepping. There's a possibility I was just recording for the last several minutes and didn't know it. It's just been one of those days. Alright, so I'm just going to chop up, I'm going to do the whole onion, and I'm going to saute it up till it's like nice and golden and crispy and caramelized and, you know, got lots of yummy flavor. So I'm not going to make you watch me, you know, cut up this whole thing. Just cut it up to the size that you want. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do any fancy cuts on this. It's already been a long day. Just got off work, but I'm hungry and I need to eat something. So I'm just going to do like a basic dice on it. So no fancy knife skills to learn here. So let me get all this chopped up and then I'll come back to you. Hey guys, while I'm chopping, let me fix this. Hi! Figured I'd talk to you a little bit so you're not so bored watching me chop onions, because, you know, that's just super exciting. So a video or 2 or 3 back, I kind of told you guys about our snake Gabriel is a ball python, that he was sick and then it might be cancer. And I really appreciate all the prayers and well wishes and those of you who've asked me privately how he's doing and everything. Like, I super duper appreciate all of that. When the tests came back, it took a little bit longer than we expected. It wasn't cancer, but it still wasn't good. Basically, he had a reptile form of tuberculosis, and that's pretty much the same sentence as cancer. So our vet has a good friend who's also the vet for the local zoos around here, and she wanted to talk to him because he was a reptile expert, kind of like what do you do in this situation when you have some of your animals that are sick? And basically he's like, there is treatment, but you're kind of just prolonging the inevitable. It's not like you could treat him and then he would live like a long happy life. He'd probably still be in pain, and even with the treatment it may not even help. So we had to make the tough decision a little while ago, and we went ahead and put Gabriel to sleep, which was really tough, and it still sucks. And because he had the tuberculosis, we didn't want to keep any of his old belongings around and somehow infect anybody else or ever use that stuff again for anybody else. So it was like a doubly hard day, because not only did we have to take him into the vet and say goodbye, but we had to get rid of all of his stuff. So where his tank is, there's now like a big empty hole. So but we are having him cremated like we did one of our other pets, so we'll have those returned to us, and my husband and I are going to work on some sort of little cabinet or something like that. So I just thought I'd give you guys an update on that. And again, I just wanted to thank you so much for your prayers and your well wishes for Gabriel. Thanks. Alright guys, in this little pan right here, I've got that whole onion chopped up, and I have the onions water sauteing, so I'm just going to let them get too much stuff in the way. Okay, I'm going to let those get nice and soft and tender, and then I'm going to take off the lid and let it kind of brown up a little bit. I'm going to try to add no oil to this, you know, keep it lower fat if I can, because not all my meals are super low fat, so I need to kind of get myself a little bit more back to that if I can, lose a little bit more weight and all that good stuff, so just be healthier for me. Anyhow, so now I'm taking my tofu. I've already done some of it, and I'm just going to crumble it up so it's kind of like the consistency of like scrambled eggs. And then I'm going to grab a bunch of spices and mix them in here until I get the flavor that I want. And then once the onions are to the brownness that I want, I'm going to go ahead and add all this in with the onions and basically just kind of cook it down a little, make sure all the moisture's out. Yeah, just kind of get it dried out because I don't want a mushy, soggy taquito. And then I will move on to the next step of rolling them. The tofu doesn't really need to be like cooked for any reason other than to just dry it out. Sorry if you hear the ding ding in my background. I'm chatting with my sister-in-law. We're about to go visit her this next upcoming weekend. She's about to be ordained. She just graduated from TCU with a double master's in divinity and in social work, so we're super proud of her. So anywho, this looks like it's good and creamy and crushed up just like that. So like I said, for me, it's a block and a half of that Trader Joe's organic sprouted tofu. Alright, now let me go find out what I'm going to put on this. Alright, so I pulled out some spices. We buy the large size when we can get it because my husband makes barbecue rub, so we go through it pretty fast. So the large guy over here is some granulated garlic. We got some granulated onion. We got some cumin. I have some ground up oregano and some smoked paprika. I might add a little bit of, ooh, that's hot. Hi! And it's steaming! I might add a little bit of chili powder. I'm just going to put that stuff in there and see how it goes. I am going to put some salt in it, but I'm going to put the seasoning in first and see how much salt it really needs. I was going to use some taco seasoning, but the only kind I have is from Trader Joe's, and I am a wuss. So Trader Joe's stuff is just too spicy for me. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's try... Well, let's do like a quarter of a teaspoon, or maybe half a teaspoon of the granulated garlic to start. And we're going to do a teaspoon of the granulated onion. I know that I'm cooking it with onions, but fresh onions and granulated onions have totally different flavors. I'm going to do just a few shakes of oregano. I don't want to, you know, do too heavy. That sounds good because oregano is kind of one of those stronger herbs, you know. Cumino. Let's go ahead and just do a whole, get the shaker top off. Who needs a shaker top? I'm going to do a whole teaspoon of that because that's a good flavor. That's a really good flavor in taco seasoning and most stuff like this anyways. You know, I'll keep the shaker because my husband likes to reuse these containers, and sometimes he'll fill these with barbecue rub or any other seasonings, so it's nice to have a shaker top for those. And then we're going to do some smoked paprika. I think I took the shaker off this already. Start out with about a half teaspoon of that. And then definitely need some pepper, just not crazy amounts of, you know, like cayenne pepper and other stuff like that. So a few good cracks of that. And then I've got some Trader Joe's pink Himalayan salt, one of those little, I can't think, you know, the ones with the little thingy on top. Okay, that's probably about a 1/4 teaspoon right there. So we'll start with that. I'm going to mix it up and then I'll come back to you and tell you what it tastes like, see if it needs more stuff. Alright, so here's the finished product. You can just about double everything that I told you except for maybe like the paprika. I think that was pretty good. And then look at these gorgeous onions. Nice and caramelized, no oil at all. So I'm going to add the tofu to this, get it warmed through, and then I'm going to start rolling up my taquitos. And I currently have the oven preheating to 375. If anybody's curious, this is the brand of tortillas I'm using today. It's the Whole Foods brand. There's the back. Where are the ingredients? There it is, I think. Yeah, organic, white corn, water, trace of lime, and that's it. So, trying to be good. No offense, but the ones with oil in them do taste better to me. But I figure I'm going to be putting some sort of sauce on here that's probably not super healthy, so I guess I got to go healthy where I can. So I'm going to go pop these in the microwave and soften them a little. Because they're pretty pliable, but I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to roll them into a taquito shape, and I don't want them to crack, so I'm hoping if I warm them just a little bit, because you can already see there's a crack in it, that'll help. So let me go do that real quick. Alright, let's see how this goes. It's my first time. Tortilla. You don't want to do a ton of filling. Maybe a tablespoon or 2 at the most. And I think it'll work easier if you start it at this end because you're going to roll it up. So you put it in the middle, then you're going to kind of fold it and whatever. You know what? Whatever rolling method works for you, as long as it sticks together enough to cook, that's all that matters. Yeah, these are a little dry. I think they're gonna just all crack. I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Suckage. I don't know what to do. What do I do? Put some fat on them. Oh, they're all gonna crack. Okay. I think fudgesicles. I'm either gonna make tostada shells of these, or I'm gonna make crunchy taco shells and just do the thing where you fold it over the wire rack of your oven and let them bake, and they're still gonna frickin' crack and piss me off, but that's okay. That's life and it's reality. Okay, so before I go too crazy and start saying words on YouTube that I don't need to be saying, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. Alright, this is what I got going on. 1 to try to make a taco, 4 to make a tostadish, and that mess right there. So I will be back later, and hopefully it'll taste good, because that's all that matters. Who gives a crap what it looks like? Oh, it's falling apart even more! Awesome sauce. So I kind of give up. The one that was kind of hanging over the rack fell and slipped down onto the floor, so that's in the trash. So I guess if I don't burn the other ones, it'll be kind of like tostadas, and then that other mess of a one, I'll just eat it. And then I'll just pile the tofu scramble mixture on top. So at the very least, you have a tofu scramble video out of this. Anyways, guys, I will show you what the finished product looks like and tell you what it tastes like. Thanks for watching. So these are now called Epic Fail Tofu Taquitos. Where's the camera? Look at that crap. Let me see if I can try to pick it up for you. Yeah, that's just a complete and total disaster. I'll still taste it for you, though. Sorry, I'm still learning where to point my eyeballs. That's for the other tortillas that aren't quite crisp enough yet, that I'm just probably going to break up into stupid pieces and eat it with my tofu scramble. Here's a bite. Mmm. It actually tastes good. It just looks like poop. Like I said, all that matters is that it tastes good. Alright guys, if you've ever made vegan taquitos, like tried and true recipe, like link it in the description box below. Doop, doop, doop. Or leave me the recipe in the comments or whatever. Direct me to a YouTube channel, video. But like I said before, at least the tofu scramble came out really good and tasty and flavorful. So if you're ever looking for some sort of like taco, like breakfast egg taco type thing, I would take like your tofu and season it with like a taco seasoning and add in, like I did, the onions and maybe some bell pepper, and if you're into chilies and stuff like that, go ahead and add that in there. But I'm going to try to salvage what's left of my tortilla tofu scramble awesomeness. And thanks for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Y'all have a good evening. Bye. Yep, totally turned it into nachos. There goes the healthy right out the window. But it's tasty. Talk to y'all later. Bye.